Hi, and welcome to Sealclops Book Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing the latest Ali Hazelwood book, Love Theoretically. Enjoy! Love Theoretically, written by Ali Hazelwood. I read this as the paperback book. I do also have the EPUB on my phone that I went back and forth from, while I was reading in bed, so on. And I actually put it as book 3 in the Love Hypothesis series, which is technically incorrect. However, they are in the same world, and you do actually see the characters from the Love Hypothesis make an appearance in this book. Technically, they're all standalones, though, so yes, you can read them however you like. The main genre, so this is contemporary and romance. It also is fiction, adult, STEM, and chick lit. So how does the book compare with other books in the genre? Ali Hazelwood has once again written a wonderfully intelligent and humorous chick lit regarding women in STEM. Her plot lines are quite similar throughout her stories, yet that doesn't make them monotonous at all. How does it match up with your expectations of that genre? So I was hoping this book was like her previous romances, and luckily I was not disappointed. She is able to include complex scientific jargon into an easy read book without it feeling out of place. The summary. The many lives of theoretical physicist Elsie Hanaway have finally caught up with her. By day, she's an adjunct professor toiling away at grading labs and teaching thermodynamics in the hopes of landing tenure. By other day, Elsie makes up for her non-existent paycheck by offering her services as a fake girlfriend, tapping into her expertly honed people-pleasing skills to embody whichever version of herself the client needs. Honestly, it's a pretty sweet gig, until her carefully constructed Elsieverse comes crashing down. Because Jack Smith, the annoyingly attractive and broody older brother of her favourite client, turns out to be the cold-hearted experimental physicist who ruined her mentor's career and undermined the reputation of theorists everywhere. And that same Jack who now sits in the hiring committee at MIT right between Elsie and a dream job. Elsie is prepared for all-out war of scholarly sabotage, but those long, penetrating looks, not having to be anything other than her true self when she's with him, with falling into an experimentalist orbit finally tempt her to put her most guarded theories on love into practice. The analysis, so a bit about the plot and theme. Elsie is an up-and-coming theoretical physicist who works around the clock as an adjunct professor just to keep a roof over her head and insulin in her pod. When a job opportunity arises for Elsie as a tenure professor at MIT, she'll do anything in her power to make the long interview process go smoothly, even if she has to put up with the one man who made theoretical physicists look like a joke many years ago. After finding out that no matter her efforts, the job was always intended for another, Elsie took the news hard when it was mistakenly revealed in front of her nemesis, Jack. Jack must help to console Elsie. He has been obsessed from afar since the very first look. He watches her mind work overtime to transform herself into the person she thinks others want to see. He is fascinated and wants to uncover the real Elsie. Can he help her ask for what she wants? There you go. So pacing, emotion, ending, and plot holes. Containing just under 400 pages, I devoured this book under 2 days while working. The plot is familiar and somewhat predictable, and the constant digs at men against women in STEM begin to come across as a little preachy, as this is the 5th book with similar content. All of that being said, I still really enjoyed this book and was able to get carried away in the happy emotions and romantic atmosphere. I also like to compliment Hazelwood's knack for making the intimate scenes not just explicit details, but about the bonding and feelings shared between the main characters. So it's really sweet to read. A little bit about those main characters. So we have Elsie. She is a theoretical physicist working as an adjunct professor, hardly making ends meet. She is diabetic, molds herself to fit other people's needs, works as a fake girlfriend to help the builds, and scared of being rejected. Then we have Jack. He's also known as Jonathan, but his nickname is Jack. He is an experimental physicist, head of the MIT Physics Institute, comes from a wealthy family, has multiple scientific tattoos he hides under his clothing. That was pretty cool. wrote a malicious article regarding the theoretical physicist when he was 17, and obsessed with Elsie from the start. The recommendation. So once again, I highly recommend Ali Hazelwood and her entertaining, romantic, and humorous women in STEM books. She is an author that I intend to keep an eye on so that I can read everything that she has to offer. Her ability to include scientific themes and contexts make her books all the more interesting and worthwhile reading. And once again, as with her previous books, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Ali Hazelwood has once again released a must-read chick lit romance that is both enjoyable and educational. So very, very good reading. I really enjoy these books. It is easy to get carried away in them, definitely. I think just the similarity in the plot and the theme when you start off the book before you really get absorbed is what lost the star in my opinion. But 4 out of 5 stars still means I really, really enjoyed the book. So yeah, let me know what you think about Love Theoretically, written by Ali Hazelwood. Thank you. Bye.